Good morning, Year 4. It is Tuesday, the 30th of June. And today we're going to be looking at understanding effective vocabulary in our text. So let's have a look. So effective vocabulary is those words which stand out, which give that text meaning, vividness. It really colours up and makes the text powerful. So let's have a look at what I've chosen today. So I've chosen the emperor's men came at midnight. So when did they arrive? They arrived at midnight. That significant time, at midnight. And if we didn't want to use that word midnight, they did arrive, but it didn't say that they came exactly at midnight. But there are other synonyms that if we were changing this, or to make it more exciting for ourselves, we could use other synonyms. Let's have a look what I've chosen. So I've picked these up as near synonyms, but I didn't think there was many of them really. So I've also picked some synonyms here, which when I've looked at, I've just looked at the word night rather than midnight, because midnight doesn't give us many options because it's saying exactly 12 o'clock at night. 12 o'clock at night. That's what's come up. Some people say it's the bewitching hour between 12 and 1. The dead of night, but it doesn't exactly fit our meaning. It's a bit boring, isn't it? If we don't say midnight, then it's obviously going to have to be 12 o'clock at night. So I've changed that because sometimes if there are only a few synonyms and we're not really happy with them, we don't feel they're exciting enough, we can actually slightly change what we're looking for. So instead of me saying midnight in the middle of the night, I've looked up night. And with that, it brings up some more synonyms, which if we were writing creatively, that would be fabulous to use these. If it was, of course, a factual information and someone said they came at midnight, then we would have to say it was 12 o'clock. But with our text, if we were writing creatively, we could elaborate a little bit and change it. So we could write, let's have a look. The emperor's men came at midnight. The emperor's men came at the dead of night. The emperor's men came in the dark hours. In the darkness, they arrived before dawn. In the blackness, the emperor's men arrived. So there are all sorts of lovely different synonyms we could use. But as I said, these ones are for night, not midnight. But we're able to get away with that because it's creative writing. It's fiction and not fact. So, do you like my little clock there? Showing 12 o'clock. Okay, the other word I have picked on here is her tawny hair. So hair is the noun, tawny is the adjective, isn't it? Her tawny hair. So we're looking at, it does come again, this tawny colour. I think it's the same colour as her cloak. So tawny we usually think as being a brown colour. So these are both synonyms here. Again, I put tawny and it came up as a beigey colour, a bronzy colour, a brown, maybe a dusky brown. And there are variations of that, and tawny can be a type of blonde, tawny blonde hair, caramel, dusty. So they're all lovely words which you could use as well. Her tawny, caramel hair. So let's see if they fit. Her caramel tawny hair, the same colour as her cloak. So that fits as well. So we could use that if we wished. Dora was fast asleep, wrapped in her mother's blue pallor. That to me sounds like almost like a blanket which her mother ties around her back for the child or children to be held onto the front, doesn't it? His mother quickly wrapped, again we've got that word wrapped, the leather travelling belt around his waist. So let's have a look for quickly and wrapped. It's a bit like a papoose, isn't it? And ladies today even carry like a material papoose, like a bag almost on their front so that they can have the child close to them. So let's have a look at quickly and let's have a look at wrapped. So here we go. So we're looking at quickly, wrapped. So we've got quickly here, we've got hastily, that means quickly, rapidly, speedily, instantly, Chop chop isn't quite that. I might say that to you at school. Come along, chop chop. But you wouldn't say she chop chop wrapped. That wouldn't really fit, would it? And that's what we're talking about, using these words in the correct context. Because you might get other synonyms, but are they exactly what we need and want to use in the context we're talking about? So we could have immediately cloaked, immediately swaddled, immediately encased the child, ready to go. So I've got a picture here of, looks like Mary, but it looks like the Virgin Mary, doesn't it, with a baby there, swaddling, wrapped closely to the lady. So again, you've got to think about what is it instantaneously. She instantaneously protected, sheathed, enveloped, shrouded the child. And then the antonyms there. So if it's quickly, it means you've got to do something which is a bit chop chop, isn't it? Quickly, instantly, hastily, basically saying get a move on. And the antonyms there are, eventually this happened, later on, slowly. So they are the complete opposites to synonyms, and they are antonyms. Wrapped, we've got antonyms here, not very exciting, of course, but it's just uncovered, unwrapped. So we've got that prefix there before the words. Okay. And then the other thing that I've picked up on here is the grinning actor's mask. So it was decorated. The feeding bottle was made of black glazed clay and was decorated with a grinning actor's mask to keep away, to ward away evil. So I've got that grinning word there. Let's have a look. Grinning, to grin, to verb, the verb to grin. Now I've put grin and grinning because when I looked up grinning, I couldn't really find that many synonyms. So sometimes you've got to take off the suffix and look at that word there, the verb there, to grin. Grinning. So for me, I've put up jeer, jeering, mocking, scoffing, taunting, sneering. And I didn't feel there was enough there, so I've also looked at what's called near synonyms. So they're not quite exactly what we wanted, because when I looked up grinning, there wasn't much for that. So when I took the suffix off and I looked up grin, I could see that there was synonyms and near synonyms. So sometimes you've got to look at both to see which ones you want. So we've got here beaming, smirking, sneering, laughing, gleaming. So there's three different ones there. Some are similar, but that's the ones that I've picked up on. And I've got here some Roman, almost like gargoyles really, of people, I suppose, in those formats, which they would use on, even now in Greek and Roman times, you do find these on walls of buildings, and there was a lot of them made. Okay, and sometimes they're known as gargoyles. You can find them anywhere. But these two have got their mouths open, haven't they? They're not exactly grinning, but that's the best I could find. Okay, so how does that fit with any of our words there? Grinning actor's mask, sneering actor's mask. So I'm going to let you have a play about with that and find one of the synonyms or the near synonyms which you feel is appropriate. So what I've done here is, because I've focused more on synonyms this week rather than antonyms, I've just changed this slightly. So you choose two words, list the synonyms for each word you choose, write a sentence for each of your words, write your own definition of each word. And then I've put there, draw images for both. So if you choose to, you can draw two images. So I hope you enjoy this work today and you're building up your word power with finding different synonyms. You're building up your word power, which then you can remember and use forever after. Okay, Year 4, I'll talk to you again tomorrow. Goodbye for now.